This rail also comes with an adjustable rear sight blade on the back for elevation. It's held in the slot by a little screw on the side. The blade itself is from marbles and is invertible. It has a groove on one side and a notch on the other. You can turn it around and even have just a black blade or leave it where the white diamond shows. So if your optic goes down, take it off the rail, you still have iron sights on the gun. The rail itself becomes the rear sight. Installing my rail is a very simple matter. The first thing you always want to do on working with any firearm is to double check that it is empty. You want to put this firearm into a very secure position using a padded vise here. Trying to just lay it across your lap doesn't work very well. I've had a number of people try that. This gun needs to be very steady in order to drive this rear sight out. And a lot of people have also asked, my sight isn't made like that one. No, the different years have all different kinds of sights, but they all go in and out the very same way. They all are a dovetail. What you want to do is to take a draft pin or whatever you have and put in the left side of that rear sight blade, take your little hammer and tap it hard enough to drive it on out the side. And that is all it takes to remove that sight. You have this gun very secure, it's very easy to do. Now, when you get your sight rail, it will come in a package like this. It has all the information and instructions inside the card. It has a little packet of mounting hardware plus the rail. The first thing you want to do is take the package out, make sure you don't lose any of these small parts. I've had to send out a number of these to people that lost them in their shop. So get a nice secure spot, even a little bowl. I'm using a piece of pad here, someplace where you can put your small parts and not lose them. First, after removing the rear sight, you also want to remove the rear link pin retaining screws, the large screw at the front of the receiver on the left-hand side. Then taking the little dovetail block out of the packet, you'll want to slide it back in from the left side to the right, making sure you've got it the right side up with the dovetail. Now some of these blocks fit real tight. You may need to take a little 3-cornered file it down until it'll fit, slide it right in there. It's only a few thousandths. We make them universal because every gun seems to have a bit different dimension. If the dovetail has to be a little bit loose, you can peen the underside of the dovetail block and tighten it up. Put it back in the dovetail. You want to tap it back in. And this particular gun fits pretty snug as it is. Center as close as you can, and then take the set screw out of the packet using a 3/32 Allen wrench. Run it down into the block until it just touches the barrel. You don't want to run it down tight yet. Just touch it and then even back it out just a hair. And then taking the rail out of the packet, you'll notice it already has a set screw and nut attached underneath of it. This is for adjusting later to support the end of the rail, but just slide the rail on the gun in whichever slot it needs to be to line up with your link pin retaining screw. Taking the large screw out of the pack, and you slide it into the slot. Taking the proper screwdriver, run that in to where it's just, again, nice and snug. Don't tighten it down just yet. Taking the nut out of the package, put it over the stud you just installed. Get it started. Taking a 5/16 nut wrench, just screw it right down on top of there. Again, you want to have it where it is just snug. Then you'll need to take the gun out of the holding device, and you want to hold it up and sight down there, and you want the groove in the top of the sight rail to line right up dead center with the front side of the gun. Once you have it lined up dead center, then make sure you don't move the dovetail block. Put everything back into the vise, and then you can take the screws out, put a little bit of Loctite. I prefer blue. Some of the really heavy recoiling guns, some guys have used red Loctite on these to make sure they don't come loose. But now that you got everything centered, you can cinch everything down. After putting your drop of Loctite on there, just cinch it down. Do the same with the nut wrench up here. First you want to tighten, that's the set screw in the dovetail block, just good and snug. Again, do not strip these. Then use the nut wrench and tighten.
Whenever you're ready.
In adjusting the screw at the end of the rail, you want to just run it down till it just touches the barrel. You don't want to force the end of the rail up, just where you see the rail start to move, stop, and then use the little wrench, if you have one that thin, to get underneath there. These are just a little cheap stamp metal nut, and that will lock it down. If you don't have one of those, you can use set of needle nose. If you got a small needle nose, just something to squeeze underneath there, hold that nut in place and lock it down. Or if you don't have enough room for the nut, you can use Loctite and leave the nut out and just use that Loctite on that screw just to support the end of the rail. Nut down on there. Your rail is installed. It's just that simple. It's ready to go ahead and take any type of optic like this little red dot, put it on there. You can mount it anywhere here on the rear, the front. This rail's long enough that you can actually put it on here and put a laser in front of it. As on this particular one here, you can use rings and mount the scope where you have 2 rings behind the turret, or as in this particular rifle here, we used what we call offset rings. And this ring actually offsets and comes up, and you only need one of them for the front to get on the other side of the turret, and that way you can mount just about any scope on top of these rifles. You always want to make sure that when you mount it, that the scope does not overhang the ejection port and interfere with ejection. But other than that, that's all there is to installing these, and you can put any modern optic on there and bring your little lever gun right into the 21st century. Thank you.